Good afternoon and welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Connersville for this day. Before beginning the official meeting, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by member Ronnie Coldiron and an invocation by Reverend Knox Bullock, whom I do not see here. Oh, Reverend Bullock, I'm sorry, you were hidden in the corner. Okay, we'll stand first for the Pledge of Allegiance and then the invocation. Ron?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we pray? Yes, sir. Father, we thank you for this day that you've given to us, another day of grace and goodness. We've celebrated our nation's birthday yesterday, or Saturday, and we've been reminded once again of the greatness of our nation and that you shed your grace on us. You shed your grace on America. You shed your grace on Indiana. You've shed your grace on Connersville, and we thank you for that. Thank you for this Board of Works. We are asking that you would bless them and help them as they do their duty and do their best for our city. Give them direction and instruction, we pray. And help all of us to be good citizens. Thank you for all that you've done for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir, very much.
The regular meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety of Connersville, Indiana is now in session. We ask that you please silence your cell phones, and we thank you for that. We'll begin with a roll call.
Jane Oakley,
Present.
Fran Schomel,
Present.
Leonard Urban, Mike Bishop,
Present.
Ron Coldiron.
Well, the reading of the minutes of the June 15th, 2015 regular meeting. Any additions or corrections?
No, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes as they have been submitted to us this afternoon.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of adopting the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Under new business, request for a banner from July the 12th to the 20th for the Kiwanis Fish Fry. Dan Flum.
Thank you, Fran.
You're welcome, Dan.
As you know, Kiwanis is having their annual fish fry. It will be, I'm not sure which year it is, but our first one was August the 5th, 1977, by both of our clubs. And since then, the Sundowners have disbanded. And its members, the ones that are still in Kiwanis, are now a part of the regular Kiwanis. But anyhow, we would like to have a banner put up from the 3rd. We'd actually like it longer, but somebody else has already taken the dates. But we'd like it from the 13th to the 20th of July.
And this is the fish fry at the fair,
At the
right?
fair, yes.
Okay, you've heard the request. What's your pleasure?
I move we accept this request for this banner from July 13th to the 20th at Kiwanis Fish Fry at the park.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion, the second, that we request, grant the request for the banner for the Kiwanis Fish Fry for July 13th to the 20th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, Dan?
Thank you.
Approval of the Fair Parade Route, Miranda Spencer. Hello.
It is a fair time actually. We're gonna do the fair parade on July the 26th, which is the last Sunday of the month. It will start at,
26.
yep, 26. And we'll start at 2 o'clock.
Okay,
Lineup will begin from 9 to 1:30. We're hoping that the route is going to be done. We start at 21st and Grand. So we're just kind of playing it by ear, but we'd like to take our normal route up Grand.
27th?
Yeah, 26th.
I don't think there's any way that's going to be finished.
I
It'll be done.
didn't, did you get with the police department?
They,
Very-
Okay, Craig, we talked about them going up Western, I thought, at one time.
The plans that I was given was north on Western to 29th.
Mm-hmm. The 29th.
This is 29th over to Grand, south on Grand to 27th, and then in the park.
on 29. Okay.
That's the plans the police department came up with.
Okay. Well then, that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do. I'll get with you to make sure we have that all squared away.
Okay. Need copies of,
Yes, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, you've heard the request, the parade route, north on Western to 29th from 21st Street, then over to Grand, south to 27th, and then east into the park apparently. Is that it? Okay. What's your pleasure?
I move we accept the parade route for the fair parade as has been discussed here this afternoon.
I'll second, please, no problem.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Approval of a bucket drive, August 15th for America Under God Mission and Church. Tom Groh and Billy Perry. Hello.
Afternoon, sir.
How you do?
How y'all doing today?
Okay.
What we are, we're an organization that we formed here in Connersville to do what we can for the people of Connersville. We're in the process of putting a building together for a food pantry and also a winter storm shelter in case of emergencies, people needs in where it's warm and stuff. And we're requesting this bucket drive to help us with the things that we're trying to do in this situation.
And you have your locations?
No, they said something about the normal locations. They didn't tell us exactly which.
Okay, that would be 6th and Grand
Okay,
and 6th and Central.
that'd be fine, sir, yes.
Okay.
Do you have, not the bucket drive, but do you have the location of your food pantry and your storm?
Our location for it is at, and we're remodeling everything because we got the building donated to us. And we're trying to get it up and ready. We're doing our best to get it up by this winter. It's at 320 West 9th Street. It's an old apartment house that was there that they was having problems with, and he donated it to us, and we got a lot of work to do to it.
Good location. Okay, thank you.
Good. Is this the first time that you've had a bucket drive in Connersville?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, you need to give the street department their rules and regulations that we have.
Okay.
He's right behind you.
Dave is here. Dave, can you help these gentlemen?
Yeah, if you guys will come by the street department, I have vests and cones and stuff you use for your bucket drives, okay?
Okay, we can pick up the cones, but we've got our own vests.
Okay, we either, as long as you have vests on, they have to have vests on to be out in the street.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
And the cones we have are about so tall, so pretty sized cones.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank
And
you,
also,
sir.
we request a sign so that people know what the event is for.
Yes, sir.
Please see that everyone wears their vest. That's very
Yes.
important.
That's one thing that we're real strict on with our organization, because we go out and do volunteer service and stuff too, and they have to have their vests on when they're doing that.
Okay, you've heard the request from these gentlemen. What's your pleasure?
I move, Your Honor, that we allow this bucket drive to take place for the America Under God mission, for a food pantry and shelter to be implemented, please.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Okay, you're ready to go.
God bless you all.
You're welcome. Thank you. Approval of a bucket drive on August the 8th for the Whitewater Valley Arts Association. Sharon McQueen. Is Sharon here? Okay, we'll move on to the approval of a bucket drive, July 11th for the PCT Camp for Kids. Bub Russell.
That's not bad.
Okay. I don't think that's fine. What's your name, please?
Tara Russell.
Okay, Karen. Tell us what you want.
We are looking to do a bucket drive as well on July 11th at the locations that you had mentioned earlier. It's for our youth camp, which is going to run from July 14th through the 17th at Whitewater State Park. That'll fund all of all the youth to go directly to the camp. So
What's the PTC stand for?
Pentecostal Tabernacle Church
Okay. Is this the first time for a bucket drive for you?
that I'm aware of, yes.
Okay, you'll need, as we mentioned
Right, yes.
prior, okay, to the street department for a copy of the rules and regulations. Okay, bucket drive on July 11th for this camp. What's your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve the bucket drive for the PTC Church. Ms. Tara Russell, please.
I'll
July
second.
11th.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Okay, it's all
Thank you very
yours.
much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Approval of a bucket drive, August the 1st, Faith Christian School, Dave Joe.
I'm here on behalf of one of my employees, and he asked me if I would do this. This is for the school over there, and it's for scholarships for the kids in that school. That's what this is about.
Okay,
If
What's,
it's available, I'd make a motion to approve the bucket drive for Faith Christian School.
I'll second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I'll make sure he sees me for the
Yeah,
information.
see the guy in
Yeah.
charge. so-
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
Thank you.
approval to close off the street for the J.C.'s go-kart race, Robbie Wilson.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Robbie.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm here once again to see if I can shut the streets down for a day to raise some money to pay for the fireworks. Hope everybody enjoyed last Saturday's show.
Very good Saturday. What's your date, Robbie?
Well, we've got a little bit of an issue. August 1st is the date we want to have the race. And let me explain to you the reason we had to go into August with, usually we have it in June. The barricades, the safety barricades that we rent were not available. They were only available August 1st for us to have them for the whole weekend, so we had to kind of go that direction to do it. We also bought our own carts this year. We're not renting them anymore. We went and purchased our own. Thanks to the 40 and 8, they've helped us out with some funds. Our goal is to buy our own equipment to where we don't have to depend on somebody to rent it, so we've been stepping it up. We also, this year, we a little bit of a funds crunch because we had to pay for the fireworks prior to having the race, so we got it all taken care of and done.
Good.
But we're looking forward to, we're ahead of the game now for 2016 is the way we're looking at it, so.
Okay. And what street's affected again?
It'll be the block from 5th Street to 6th Street and Grand Avenue and Central Avenue. I will need to go a half a block off of that block to the alleys, basically, so people don't get up in there and they can't turn around.
Right.
That's the same route in, right?
Same route as we've had the last several years.
We're gonna have a problem with this bucket drive we
Yeah.
just approved.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, and we would have no problem with a bucket drive anywhere other than, I mean, those two corners, they're,
You just come up.
Somehow during that day, we'll figure out how to redo this.
Well-
There's not a problem that I see.
if they could capitalize on using the event somehow, maybe, and maybe move the buckets.
Between Robbie and I, we'll figure out something for it, okay?
I'd be more than happy to do that.
That'd be the best way to do it.
So,
You can work it out, Dave.
I think you'll get a steady flow of traffic
We'll
if
be
we can
fine.
move them somewhere, and then you'll have all
Block up on
the
Central.
participants. We actually did increase the participants this year. We're gonna try to have 50 drivers, where in the past we had 35 to 40. So, our goal is we wanna build it up to where we can spend a little more money and buy a bigger fireworks package for the city and the county.
I move that we accept this proposal for the J.C.'s go-kart race on, I didn't get a date on it.
August 1st.
August 1st, excuse me.
I'll second it, you know, as long as they can work out.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's why I
I'll
was
get with David, and we'll
confused
make
there.
sure we get
I
something.
don't even like
that
you,
works
but I'll
out.
do it anyway.
Okay.
And the business in that area is okay? with
We'll
it?
talk to them. In the past, what we've done, we've actually, the businesses that are normally open, we try to incorporate them somehow or another to where they can take advantage of the participants coming. That'll use their facilities for,
Okay.
I know Jimmy Bunzendall's great with it. He's had good success with it, and I'll talk with the other ones and make sure everything's good. The bank, Fifth Third Bank, they will be closed. They close for us every year, just for half a day.
Okay.
If there should be such an issue as you can't work it out, which I'm sure Dave will, but you need to come back to the next board.
We'll make it
Because you're
work.
gonna make your date if you don't.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
Thank you, so.
Okay, you've heard the motion, the second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Okay, Robbie,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Barricades want to.
Approval of adding a handicap parking sign at 323 West 11th Street. Greg, would you like to address this?
I was told there were no issues with that, and that's fine.
Okay, all right, I didn't know if you folks had checked it out and
Yes.
everything.
Yes, there's no issues at that address, so that's fine.
But you have the request, including a statement from the individual's doctor stating that he would benefit from having such a sign placed in front of his residence.
I move to approve the handicap sign at 323 West 11th Street.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, we'll move that on to City Council tonight for final action.
Brad has the information on that.
Okay, the request for a sewer lien to be waived, Sue Pennington. Brad Coulter, I believe, can also help us on this. This came up before us at our last meeting. And Sue, you might bring us up to date again for the people that missed when you appeared prior.
Okay, I had a daughter pass away May the 5th, and she had been unable to work for over a year and had no income. Disability hadn't come through for her. And evidently she'd had a water leak at some time, and I went down to pay her tax, and there's a lien against it. $615.
Thank you.
$615.49.
Yes.
And I asked if that could be forgiven because she is deceased and left no money. We've had a lot of expenses.
Do you want to?
Well, this is the lien,
Okay.
and then this is, I'll let, Brad, this is actually the water bill, right? And you want to explain how the practice has gone in the past on those?
Well, best I can, from what I can remember. Normally, the water bill usually gets paid. I mean, that might be a good compromise, is if you would pay the water portion, then maybe you guys might be able to waive the sewer part. I think that is kind of how it's been done in the past.
Was this $884.66? What is that?
That's a combination of everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. That's the total of all
The
of it.
sewer looks like it's $482.39, if I'm reading it right.
I see, and the water would be
Well, Brad, if it was
this
a
one.
leak, the water probably wasn't processed anyway, right? If it was a leak, in other words, the water.
Well, you know, we have policies about, under normal circumstances, if her daughter had been well enough, she would have requested a leak adjustment, and then we would have given her adjustment on the sewer.
Yeah.
But they would still have to
Yeah.
take the water, so that
Yeah.
would be the normal.
That would have been the procedure, yeah.
Okay, see, this is what, since she's been deceased, what has come in the mail.
Now that,
So I don't know.
once it was shut off, then now you're just getting a bill for the stormwater, and you always get a bill for your stormwater,
Okay,
no matter if your water's turned on or not.
okay, I understand.
So that's what that
Yeah,
would be,
so,
4 months of it.
yeah.
So, man, it's really up to you guys, but normally the water would be
Would be paid.
paid.
And that's $335.23, is that correct?
But your request is only for the lien that's at the courthouse for $615.49, correct?
Yes.
That's the only thing you're
But the
asking.
problem is, we really can't, okay, you guys forgive it, somebody moves in, we really can't turn the water back on until.
So that other one's been paid.
Right,
Yeah, we could forgive the lien and that would take it off the
but
taxes,
that doesn't get you water.
but that doesn't
So what
make,
would, we still over water then?
yes.
How much is that?
$335.23.
And then the penalty,
That's
which is $4.
$439,
Yeah.
50, 44.
So, I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do, but, you know, it might be a compromise for, if she could pay the water and the penalty on the water, then you could do what you need to do
I
with the
can read
rest.
that.
Okay.
That would be 339.23 then.
41 or 44?
Well, I think there's like tax on some of
There's
it.
a penalty on there for
Okay.
421 too.
There's
This is
tax.
as of,
They'd have to
last week,
they'd have to
so.
refigure that a little bit, but
that would be pretty close.
probably maybe around $350 or something.
So we can make a motion to amend the water, to amend this lien as long as the water's paid and the sewer will be forgiven, is that what we're saying?
Well, we'd be forgiving this lien.
The
The entire lien.
615.
Yes,
The
because this doesn't
615.
include any amount for
Okay.
water. This
Oh,
is
okay.
only on sewer. Sewer and stormwater.
And typically, when a leak is reported, the sewer's adjusted anyway because it's not going down the sewer.
Mhm.
It's leaking into the ground or something. So I would make that motion to approve forgiving the lien of the sewer bill, of the lien charge. That's the best way to- yeah.
1840.
Mr. Baker, are we doing this right?
Right, the sewer and water mains are what you, which has been recorded in the courthouse. That's what you're authorizing to be released,
Yeah.
with no further payment.
And then she still has to pay the water, correct?
Yes.
I'll second that motion, Your
So
Honor.
we're forgiving the lien of $615.49.
Right.
As long as the water bill is.
Yes.
Well, the water bill will have to be paid for them to turn water
Yes,
back
I
on.
will pay the water bill. I didn't know, see, it's not on this bill of hers.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's just the storm sewer, so I didn't know. But I will pay that, yes.
Did you get the leak fixed?
No,
Yeah.
not yet, her son's gonna work on that.
Okay, okay.
He wants to fix the house up and move in.
Sure.
So there will be someone living in this property.
Later on, yeah.
How much later on?
Well, he told me before winter.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, no, that's fine.
That's what he told me.
That's fine.
Do some work
Thank
on
you.
it. But yeah, he'll be having the water turned on then, but I will take care of this, like $350 myself.
Okay, good.
And-
You've heard the motion, the second. Let's have a roll call.
Jane Oakley,
Yes.
Fran Schomel.
Yes.
Mike Bishop.
Yes.
Ron Coldiron.
Yes.
Okay.
And I sure appreciate your time.
Thank you for
I
your
appreciate
Thank you.
that.
You're
It
sorry for
helps
your
out
losses.
at a time
Glad
like
we could
this.
help you.
Thank you.
Good luck now.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck.
Next on the agenda is Resolution 2015-21, transfer in the park, and there's a second resolution
It's a park transfer too.
of 2015-22, also a transfer in the park. The one is for the non-reverting operating fund of $3,529.40. That'll go to summer camp, to the Miller Center, to soccer, to the electronic sign, and to softball. And the second is $100 for repair of building to refunds. Do you know what that's about?
Well, we don't normally carry much money in refunds. And if, like, I imagine, since it's $100, it's somebody that had a pool party booked and then canceled.
Yeah.
Because of weather or something?
Probably.
Sure, yeah.
Because you have to put a deposit of half of it down, so.
Okay.
I move we approve Resolution 2015-21 and 2015-22.
Second, please.
Go ahead.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, we'll move on. To department matters, utility department, Mike Bottomley, superintendent, and Brad Colder, assistant superintendent. What do you fellows have for us today?
Not a whole lot. Last week, we had our MS4 inspections. I don't know if you remember me talking about MS4 and all that. Westlers came in, did an inspection for us, kind of like a pre-inspection. Then IDM will come in later in the year and do a real inspection. So it went pretty well, got a few issues, nothing too outstanding. So we feel pretty confident in the fall when IDM shows up and does the official housekeeping. It's called a housekeeping audit, where they visit all the garages and buildings and look for open containers and chemicals and those type of things.
Okay.
The old vac truck, I know Julie looking for us, what the best way to sell that, eBay, close bids, and I think we're at the point where we can start moving on to do it with the old truck, get it sold. So, the David Myers issue, we've contacted Mr. Baker. He gave us approval to find an attorney that specializes in employee issues, so we can get the insurance thing resolved, so we can move on. So we're in the process trying to find an attorney that specializes in employee benefits and all that. And other than that, is there any questions over those issues? And I think Brad was going to give an update on the construction projects on Grand, the F
Okay.
project. You leave?
I
He's
think
out in
he
the hall.
stepped out, yes.
He's out talking to that lady. That's what he's figuring out right now.
Last minute stuff. The first thing is, I talked to you last time about the change order on the F project. We're trying to get the official original copy of it, but we don't have it yet. They're not here with it, but the actual amount would be to add $18,145 to the project, which would take it from $392,885 to $411,030. And I believe there's still going to be some savings off of that 411 when the project's finished. We've still
And
got some
what is
areas
it, why is this necessary, Brad?
This was what I was telling you about the last meeting. We had to change the paving because of the conditions
Yes.
of the street. There wasn't very good pavement on any of those, and when we start digging through them, they start falling apart.
Okay,
So we have to completely take out Iowa from a half a block from 21st going north, take out the whole road and start over. So that was a little bit more expensive, but we were able to deduct the milling that we were going to do on 21st Street, and didn't hurt us too bad.
good.
The total extra was about 44,000. I don't have that amount exactly, but it was about 44,000, but we was able to deduct 26 from other places to kind of help it. And I still think Steve can help with this a little bit. I still think we have some extra stuff in there that we're not going to use, where we'll have some savings, so.
I think by the end, we'll find a thing here or there that'll help ease that.
We might not get back to the 392, but we might be getting close to it, so.
Do we have to approve a change order, Mr. Baker?
Yes.
If the Board of Works does.
Yes. Is this request for the change order now, or are we waiting until we see?
No, I'd
if
like
there's
for you to
more?
go ahead and approve it so we can get it signed, because we need to get this dealt with. We're getting down to the end of getting close to substantial completion. We need to get this out of the way.
It's $18,145, is that what you told us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for Brad from any of the board members?
No, but I'll move that we approve the change order for the F project and no more than the amount of $18,145.
I'll second.
Heard the motion, the second, that we approve the $18,145. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Brad.
Talking about that project there specifically, we had hired Frank Construction to do Frank Excavating to do the service work for us on replacing our old water services there. And that is now done. They got a little
Good.
cleaning up to do there. And I let Brackney know they should be moving back in, I'd say any day, to start working on those streets. And Grand Avenue paving is to start on Monday, this coming Monday, a week from now.
Okay.
And they told me that should take about 2 days, and then they'll pave. Following that, they'll do 21st Street and Iowa and Vermont.
Are we comfortable that all this is going to be done prior to school starting?
No.
No, okay.
No, I don't. It's going to be, the final coat is to go on Grand on the 6th and 7th of August. So. it's
School
gonna be-
starts August the 5th.
Yeah,
Well, it's a gamble.
I didn't know that. I just called you the other day to ask the start date of school. I was surprised they had moved up that much myself. So we might be able to move them up a day or two. We'll try.
We've worked around it in the spring, so it's really no different. We'll just adjust after school starts when it's all done. It's okay.
So that's what our paving schedule looks like. I wanted to kind of float a trial balloon a little bit. NDOT asked me when we were working on the design for the upper part of Grand, how much we love that, whether we love that traffic signal at 24th and Grand or not. And I just kind of wanted to throw it out there to get a little discussion started on how people, I'd ask Jane, how the school might feel about it. She's gonna.
I've asked a lot of questions in the past week. Yeah.
I asked Chief Counselor before he left what his opinion was, and I was just interested in what he might have to say about that. It would be a really, if we were gonna take it out, it would be a really good time to do it between these two projects or or maybe while 24th Street's closed, doing that leg of it, so.
When do you want feedback?
Not
starting?
advocating for or against it, just kind of throwing it out there so we can give them.
Brad, you say 21st or 24th?
24th.
24th.
A flashing
stops.
four-way stop.
Yeah.
What, does NDOT want it out? Are they suggesting taking it out, or they just?
They don't care. I mean, it's just kind of a design issue a little bit as we go forward on the next part. And they were just curious, why is it there? Does it really need to be there? Is it just there because it always was?
Yeah, that's it.
The concerns that, I've asked a lot of questions of folks, the three major concerns was, that is a crosswalk for students for Grandview, and there is a crossing guard there. It's from Western to Park Road. It's a short shoot running across there. And the folks on Grand that I've talked to, it also slows some traffic down. From 30th to 21st, it becomes a racetrack sometimes, it at least slows them down. Those are the anti-taking it out concerns.
I think with the school right there too, it kind of keeps the traffic slowed down a little bit. The elementary school.
Yep, those are all good points. I just kind of wanted to see what anybody thought about it. It's not going to be a big, huge deal to leave it.
Just to clarify too, we're talking about taking out the flasher, not the all-way stop. It would remain an all-way stop, I think, in any condition.
That would be up to you, but that was part of the discussion.
That was part of the
Do
discussion.
you really need a four-way there? Do you want it?
So we could still have a four-way with stationary signs,
Right.
but not the expense of an electrical.
This project will not replace that flasher.
Right. It could
Either way.
accommodate it remaining in place.
Right.
But there's no new flasher going.
They'll just work around it and leave it if that's what everybody wants. So anyway, maybe I ought to get some little discussion started, see what people
I'm
think.
sure it will.
Okay, thanks, Brendan. Park Department Superintendent Jessica Paul. Hello.
Hi, honey.
I've got the facility agreement for the fair to use the entire park for the fair week, so I think it's the same thing as last year, so nothing has changed, just the dates.
I read it.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the facility usage agreement with Fayette County Fair Board for the fair this summer to use Roberts Park.
I'll second.
For the motion, second, all those in favor of approving the facility usage agreement between the park and the Fayette County Free Fair, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Jessica, that's taken care of. Your next item.
I have a grievance that was filed June 22nd, which was 10 days from today. I have a part-time employee who does the weekends. His schedule previously was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. He worked 8 hours on those days. And since we had the issue with all the vandalism and the restrooms and everything like that, I asked him if he would mind to change his schedule to work 1 hour in the evenings to lock up the restrooms and check everything, and then continue his Saturday, Sunday schedule And for about 5 or 6 Saturdays and Sundays, it was kind of mixed up a little bit. He worked his regular 8-hour shift, and then he worked an hour in the evening, which put him at 9 hours. The grievance suggests that we should pay him for that hour of overtime, but since he is a part-time employee,
So he
I was
works,
told no.
he works 24 hours and he worked 3 additional, is that what you're saying?
No,
No.
he only worked 25 hours. He worked 24 hours before. He works 25 hours now, which is what I'm told he is allowed to work
Okay.
according to the contract, union contract, so. He still is under those hours. He doesn't go over those hours.
They're just saying that he worked 9 hours in one day, so that
Okay.
he should have been paid time and a half for that extra hour.
But he's not working a 40-hour
But he's not
work week.
a full-time employee, so. The mayor and I didn't really feel like he was entitled to overtime
And part-time employees.
compensation as a part-time employee.
To be in.
And it says
He is
there's
in the union.
30 hours or less, so he's still less than his 30 hours in a week. So it doesn't say by the day, it says by the week.
Well, and there is a section in their contract, and you'll see that it says, normal workday shall consist of 8 hours, and the normal work week shall consist of 40 hours. But I would contend that that is talking about full-time employees, not
Mhm.
part-time
Because part-time
employees.
specifically listed differently.
So overtime wouldn't kick in till after 40 hours, would it? Is that
After
what we're
30.
saying?
After
After
30.
30?
With
For
the
him.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think it's
Yeah,
after
Yeah,
30,
part-time
actually.
employees, okay.
That's,
Isn't it full-time?
that was my take on it. The mayor and I talked with Jesse about it, and that's kind of what we felt like, but.
What do you think about it, Mr. Baker?
We discussed it as well, and I agree with their conclusion. The fellow was good to work 25
Well,
hours.
in the
a
contract, I
week.
think it states 30
Yes,
for
and
part-time.
it
Yes.
says,
30, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He could work up to 30 hours per week, so that would be the same as a full-time employee working 8 hours a day. I mean, it's comparable.
Yes,
You understand, Fran, what I mean?
Yes.
By that, yeah. Anything over 30 hours, he'd be entitled.
yes.
Anything over 8 hours, a regular employee is entitled. So I would say in this case, he would not be.
So he didn't work his full 30 hours and then work the extra hours, what you're saying?
no, he's always been scheduled for 25
25.
or
Yeah,
less.
it's whatever is.
And they're asking if
he's
he be
hired to
paid time and a
work
half for
regular
the
time.
hour extra that you worked him, even though you didn't work him the 30 hours.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Do we need to approve this? Or?
What was the board like
Yeah,
to do?
if you
We need a
agree,
motion to deny this.
agree to what the department head has done, she needs to render this to writing, which I presume she's done, and return it to the union, at which time you go to step 3 in the grievance and arbitration procedure in the Parks Department contract, which talks about the formation of a joint grievance committee, which will happen later.
So we need a motion whether we either accept or deny this, correct?
Her written approval as stated, I'm sorry, her written answer as stated.
That we approve her answer?
Yeah, if you approve her answer or not.
Okay, do we agree with the superintendent?
Yes.
That it should be
She denied it.
denied?
I make a motion that we agree with the superintendent where she's denied it because he's a part-time worker and he didn't work his full hours before he worked the hour extra, if you want to word it that way.
Is there a second?
I'll second the grievance.
So a yes means that we agree with the superintendent? Is that correct?
Mhm.
All right. Have a roll call?
Jane Oakley?
Yes.
Fran Schommel?
Yes.
Mike Bishop?
Yes.
Ron Coldiron?
Yes.
Okay, Jessica?
I have one more thing. I know last year about this time we were having a little bit of an issue with Tyco ADT in their or their yearly service agreement charge. I have decided in agreement with the mayor to go with a different company. We'll be using Corson now. 5 years compared to them versus ADT will be saving almost $8,000 in 5 years. So their yearly cost to us is $494.89. And that's we pay for 11 months and we get 1 month free. The upfront cost to switch everything over is just under $4,000, but we're still saving almost $8,000 after 5 years, so.
Didn't they also guarantee their price for 5 years?
They guarantee their price for 5 years at $44.99 a month.
This is for security for the buildings?
For the Miller Building.
Miller Building, okay.
The other buildings have a different security.
I see.
What was the cost? Wasn't it almost $3,000 for the one you currently have?
The one we currently have, the yearly cost was $2,868.69 for the year. So. But we will be switching everything over beginning of next week sometime.
Okay.
Just want to let you guys.
In support of Corson, I've used Corson for a long time. They're I've had no problems with them.
Thank you, Jessica.
Very much.
Thanks, Jess.
All right, next item is old business. Anyone have any old business to come before us today? If not, we'll go to miscellaneous business. Apparently none. We'll go to the claims. Mike, you have claims for?
Yes, I do. Water is $86,862.70. Sewer is $68,389.96. And stormwater is $263,915.90, of which the majority of that went to Brackney Incorporated of $203,681.90 for a total of $419,168.56.
Okay, and Brackney is the construction company
Yes.
for Grand Avenue?
No, that's actually the F project.
It's F,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, project.
that's what I'm putting down, yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, the city claims 259, and the amount of money was $75,137.01. Okay, you've heard the claims. What's the board's pleasure?
I move we approve the claims, including payrolls, as they have been submitted to us this afternoon.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Public forum. Anyone like to speak before the board today? Yes. Your name, please?
Hi, I'm Holly Dunn.
Okay, hello.
Hi. I actually have a project that is coming in October through The Haven, and we've written a grant, still waiting on that, but it looks like we're probably going to get a significant amount of money through the Reed Foundation. And essentially what we're going to do is invite university students to come in and do like hometown missions with our families, usually the kids that are active with The Haven. And then we're going to partner with the school. And on Saturday mornings, those university students will go out and do basically a admissions presentation and then go out into the community and do service projects. And so the first date is really not until October. We're going to do a baby pilot project in August that's not going to really involve a lot, but in October, we are hoping to plant like 10,000 tulips in Connersville as a project. I mean, Red Tulips, it's Make a Difference Day is in October. It's Red Ribbon Week in October. The high school did it on a smaller scale last year. And for this project to work, it's going to take a lot of community support, not necessarily as much the financial side, because I think I've worked that out, but more from the just community service organizations. We're going to need a lot of people that know people, so that when we knock on doors and show, it's really about rebranding Connersville. 82% of us don't have a problem with drugs, and there's a whole bunch of data that says this is the stuff we have to focus on. And so when we knock, we're going to say we're planting hope, And in the spring, our town's gonna blossom with red tulips as a reminder that there's something more coming. And I'm really connected to a lot of like the JC's, Optimists, Lions, like all of those people. I figured this was a great way to kind of get the word out that really we've already got it planned. The second weekend in October is the weekend we want to target it. It's the perfect time to get those tulips in the ground. People who are interested in participating with this type of project with high school students, as many as 600 to be really honest, because it's all 21st Century Scholars, all early college, high school, all JAG, all of those students are required to do service learning, and they've all came to me for the last few years and asked to serve in food pantries and etc. This way we'll be able to plan them out throughout the year. So we're excited about it, and hopefully in the next week I find out about that grant, because that'll make or break kind of the scale of what we get to do. We're going to do it regardless. It just, again, the scale of bringing universities in. So you have questions about that project?
Be on public property or private property? Where will we be planting?
It'll be people's property that will knock and ask.
I see.
So we won't be planting without permission.
Okay.
We'd be praying, hi, I'm here to plant hope. As you know, Fayette County's had a bit of problem with drugs, and we want you to know that 82% of us don't use drugs. And then we'll go through with some statistics, because the grant is promoting health and wellness and anti-drug messages. So, and it's just really kind of a shift in rebranding what you think about our community. And it starts with us too. And then we'll go back around for sure in the spring and do the exact same thing. Have you noticed the tulips? And everybody will surely notice the tulips, because if you were out at the high school, did you know?
Yes, I've seen them out there.
They were
Yes.
crazy. They were beautiful. And so like 10,000 tulips in our town they'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about it. That's just one project. I know that Optimist they've got a ramp project that we'll send a few kids that direction. The goal is every weekend that we bring in college students, then they will go and do different types of projects each weekend. There'll be at least one of the different projects that they're doing on those weekends that will have that health, wellness, anti-drug message. I want them to stay in everyday kids' houses. Essentially what we've learned through the Storm Rally is we bring in Liberty, we bring in all of these university students, they stay with our kids, and then those kids go to college at those universities. So if they come and stay the weekend with them, then they fall in love with those kids. It's better than actually a college tour to that university. So my goal is my kind of most at-risk kids that come to Fuel, I want them to stay with those kids. So, my 21st Century Scholars that perhaps are first generation, Ball State is probably going to be our partner for the first round. We've got some communication with the IU Bloomington athletes. They're not allowed to stay with any athletic students anyway, so just inviting college grad students in so that they can connect with our kids on a personal level. They'll also help with the ministry that's happening at the Haven, so that's Friday night, Saturday night, in the Care Pavilion on Sunday. So they'll be busy. And then hopefully also visiting our faith-based communities on Sunday morning and saying, this is what we've done for the weekend. So I'm excited, but it's going to take a lot of collaboration. If you want to get a hold of me, obviously my name is out there everywhere right now, but it's on the side of the building. You can contact me best by telephone. Really, I'm a great texter, and that number is 765-967-2584. If you would like to be a part of it, if there's a service organization, or I know there's a lot of signs that people are involved in flower beds that are all throughout town. So if that's something that they would like to get behind, it's going to cost like $2,000 for those 10,000 tulips. That's a chunk of my budget. So if I can get partners in that, I would love that. But it starts with little things. It shifts our attitudes. So. And then we also are I mean, if you have any questions, and I'll,
How many youth are you expecting to take part in all of this?
you know, this is the first project. We had quite a few buy-in and help at the high school when we did it just on a high school scale. With it being a Saturday, I have no idea. On Saturday nights at the Haven, we usually run anywhere from like 50 to 80 every single Friday night. So, I mean, I would say at minimum 100 kids, plus our college kids that are in town. On a bigger scale, I mean, half our high school pretty much is our 21st Century Scholars, and they're now required to do service learning.
Okay.
And all the JAG kids are required, and all of them, we're hoping to get them, you know, in t-shirts and some other stuff. That concept of youth can change the world, so.
So that's an additional 500 kids easily.
I think so, easy. Yeah, I mean, that's just it really can impact all of us. You know, I mean, because you don't have to be in one of those categories to come play with us. You know, I mean, if you just want to give back, you can. So, a little bit before then, we have our pool party. It's our 3rd annual. It's the 22nd of July. And we've done it every year. We bring in some music. It's the 22nd. You guys are having your brass band. So we will start after the brass band finishes. We're flexible. We put them out of the pool. We usually have somebody share with some music. We send out open invitation to all of the youth and their families in town. So everyone's welcome. When you guys finish with anyone who's visiting with the brass band, when they finish over there, if they want to come over to the pool, they are welcome. I have a rapper from Anderson coming, and it'll be different than the brass band. But he's good, and he will also give an anti-drug message, so. All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Holly.
Thank you for your time, Mike.
Best of luck on your projects.
Well, thank you.
Anyone else for public forum like to speak to us? Yes.
Hi, I'm Mark Poe, returning from the last meeting about the bluegrass music that we're having in Roberts Park. At the last meeting, it was approved to do this. I do have the insurance and everything in place, and have been in touch with Jessica at the Parks Department and have a set schedule in place now, where we want to do every Friday from November through April, and then the first Friday of the month, May through October, through the summer months there in the Roberts building.
Okay.
And just need to make sure if we need to get that approved and get the contracts signed and finished up.
You have
a lot of talent that I need to contract myself.
Do you have the contracts finished now?
Mr. Baker and the mayor has been working on those. We've been trying to get everything finalized with the dates and everything that.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of the actual dates the gentleman wants to use. The first Friday of the month, May through October.
Yes.
Right, before we didn't know which Friday, so.
Right, we weren't sure
he's
what was
just about
available.
it now.
I wanted to do this on a
And then
recurring
November
schedule.
through April, every Friday.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, I've got a contract prepared, as a matter of fact, I'll plug in those days.
Okay.
And I'll need your insurance certificate.
All right.
Showing the city of Connersville as an additional insured.
If we can do
Your agent will take care of that.
All right.
Yeah, your agent needs to do that for us. He needs to add the city of
Connersville with Roberts Park.
Well, not necessarily Roberts Park, just the city of Connersville.
All right.
As an additional insurer. He'll know where to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Hang on
Mark.
just a minute, Mark. I think previous to this, we were accused of having a conflict of scheduling on top of this, which we didn't. Is there going to be an issue here again?
No, that was that was agreed upon in the last meeting.
Okay,
that
I did miss the last
anytime-
meeting, so,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Anytime the city has anything scheduled on a Friday night, which I already know that December 11th is taken, and there's a date in April that's already taken, and that's fine. It had been mentioned that we could either relocate or not schedule anything that night.
So that's
which
no-
is-
no
There's no
problem.
issue with any of the
And that's in,
reschedule.
that's gonna be in the language, correct? Is that
Yes.
gonna be in the language? Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That sounds great, thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public forum? Okay, any members of the board have any final words here? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Meeting adjourned.